Hello and welcome everybody to the Anti-Think Tank podcast. Gotta add that in now because apparently we're having a bit of an identity crisis here, but we're picking it up. We're still moving forward with it. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. Very good.
I am also very good.
Ian and I spent most of the day just being absolutely fucking retarded.
It was a very fun. It was a very fun day.
Yeah.
We should.
We fought with sticks for a little while, and just go over like a brief thing for the day as how it went, just to explain why we're both probably going to be fucking tired as hell during this recording. We started out at like 10 o'clock with like gas station pizza and drinking, beat each other with sticks, went to Walmart, bought children's face paint and a Grogu ear set, a white shirt, beat the fuck out of the shirt, this absolutely destroyed it, ran it over with a car at one point.
It cannot be understated how much we just absolutely disrespected this shirt.
Like, some poor Chinese sweatshop worker spent, like, I don't know, like 38 seconds, like, weaving that shit together. They're very efficient, very good at it. So, he's not going to get that minute back, but it was basically just, like, we spat on it, everything else, just to make a fucking prop for a little 2-minute sketch that should be releasing here soon. So, look forward to that. Anyway.
Yeah, here on the channel, Anti-Think Tank Productions, we got a lot of stuff we like to do, stuff we want to do, things we want to get out there to the people. And one of those things is, little funny little sketch comedy bits. They're very short, very, very fun. We got a couple ready for you guys. I don't know when they'll be uploaded, but I hope you guys like them when they're done. Prepare your butts. It's going to be great. Moving on. I said moving on.
Editor, whoever it is, just put up a picture of me, like, stomping the shirt into the fucking sewer grate.
Oh, yes, a fireball spell, yes. That sounds good. I've got a little something like this for you.
This is actually quite nice, yes.
You must remember to stay strapped at all times south of the goblin. Redo.
Anyway, we were going to talk about the absolute fucking calamity that is the release of Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection, because that was fucking hilarious.
I've never played either of the games, but I know a lot of people who are upset by this situation, and I'm interested. I must say.
So, to explain at least a little, to explain at least a little bit, Battlefront 1 and 2 were, like, the best sort of action multiplayer shooter games for a while, because there was actual, like, hundreds upon hundreds of units, like, fighting at a single time. Like, you didn't just have whatever units you controlled, but also, like, a team of bots all fighting alongside you. There was, like, space battles, everything else. It was fucking great. And then, they're both combined, I think, like, 15 gigabytes. Leading up to launch, it was revealed that the packet size for these, for the release collection was going to be like 70 gigabytes. So everybody was fucking confused how that it could even happen, right?
Alright.
Like, how did you turn a 15 gigabyte game into 70 gigabytes? And the answer...
Wait. That just, like, that just connected in my little brain. What? What? Did they compress nothing?
No, they upscaled it with AI.
Okay.
Like, across the board, everything was resolution AI upscaled. Nothing was compressed. They brought out saying that they were going to have 64-player servers for multiplayer, right? And everybody was like, all right, that's cool. That's up from, like, the 20 that was standard in the original games. That's going to be fucking fun. But they were very meticulous with the wording, because they said they were going to have 64-player servers. They did not say how many there were going to be. There were 3.
Yeah, total of 3.
For the entire player base.
So on
That
average,
Are
is
you okay,
insane.
Ian?
So-
that is
to put the math out there, that meant only 200 plus players was only able to play at a time.
No, that means that 192 players
I can't do math.
were able to play the game at any given point. For the dedicated servers,
That
if you
is-
wanted to play multiplayer outside of that, go fuck yourself. I'm not even sure if they have hosting.
just to be clear, this is like one of the most popular, especially. I mean, those two games. I know the ones that came out like in the Xbox One era. I think it was like Battlefront 3 and 4 or whatever. People like those. I know, like like some of the younger generation, like my younger cousin likes both of those games. But like, as far as the original Battlefront 1 and 2 goes, I haven't played them myself, but I know they're generally considered to be really, really excellent games. So this is just a complete mismanagement, a total travesty.
So I'm just going to go through and read some of the reviews because it is one of the only overwhelmingly negative games on Steam right now. And some of these, like, put it up fairly nicely. Asper somehow managed to release an unfinished version of a finished game.
Yeah, that's wild. They just had to port it. That's it.
Released and out. Oh, no, they didn't have to port it at all. The original two games are already on Steam. At least the second one is. So, like,
Okay, then now I'm even
the
more
job
confused
was
then.
literally, the job was literally done for them. Anyway, it released
So all
an
they had to
hour
do was
late.
just-
So they
Go on.
It released an hour late, so they delayed it by an hour. There were 10,000 players at launch with a 200-player server capacity. It's a
my God.
20-year-old, like two 20-year-old games with a larger storage demand than Elden Ring. Horrible hit registry, buggy as all hell. Zero acknowledgement of any game issues, only server issues. $35, product refunded.
Oh my god.
User, I'm Lucas. Thank you for that. Do
Thanks,
not
buddy.
recommend.
Really
Do
put
not
everything
buy
into
this.
perspective there.
Just play the old one. Recommended. It's,
I think I'm just gonna
it
play the
is-
old one. I'll be real with you.
it is absurd to me that this could even be possible. That you could take a finished, beloved product, change nothing about it, but AI upscaling, and then try to release it with 200 player server capacity, and try to charge $40 for it. How
It's
did that
absolutely
even
absurd.
occur? How did that happen?
I will say, from what I've seen from like all the different kinds of
I was
what I've seen from all the different kinds of like fucking videos from this from this game, my favorite glitch so far is that the game freezes. It says to trying to reconnect, and literally every player model goes flying in the sky.
I've
Oh
looked
my
at
God.
no gameplay of it. Me and Justin were actually excited for this release coming up to it. Like, we had been playing the classic version of Battlefront 2 with Chance, just like in actual multiplayer servers, like one of us hosting it. It lagging like hell, but it was fine, so we're just gonna like fuck around on that and wait for the classic collection to release and then play the real version that's coming out. That'll definitely work, guys. And then it launched like this. I don't know.
God.
Like, keep in mind, 10,000 players at launch. That means that each of them paid $40. So 40 times 10,000 is how much money this grossed on Steam in its first day. That's not counting like consoles or anything like that.
I was gonna say, there's part of me that's like, okay, so they just didn't know how popular the game was. That's their problem. You know, I can get that. But like, even if they didn't know how popular the game was, the assumption with what they did would mean that they thought that there was going to be less than 200 players at any given time. Which, like, even unpopular games can have like that many players. Like, I imagine Club Penguin, if it was like registering like up in the tens of millions. All right, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, like let's just see. Go by where's the Steam like active players tab and just go through what they expected it to be beaten by. Let's see, Steam active players. Here we go.
Yeah,
of course, Helldivers 2 gonna be really fucking big right now, but we're looking for the lowest. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, not by score, but it is hilarious that fucking Overwatch 2 is in the bottom 3. Thank you. It has breached the bottom 10 rating of all time. It has been out for 6 days, and it is the 9th lowest rated game on Steam in its entire history.
That's absolutely insane.
It is only beaten by
God.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. It's beaten by Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Space Base DF9, Uriel's Chasm, Command and Conquer 4, Tiberian Twilight, Flat Out 3, Chaos and Destruction, Overwatch 2, Identity, and the worst rated one of all time, War of the Three Kingdoms.
We should play them all for a funny. For a little bit of a funny, we should play them all.
I don't want to because War of the Three Kingdoms was able to take the top spot as a free game with sexual content. Which means that it was like people, even the horny motherfuckers, didn't want to give this shit above a 1 star. Like,
that means like even the Coomer crowd like just could not handle it. You know when even the Coomers can't find something to like about your game, then you've done something wrong.
Okay, yeah, I understand. I'm looking at the fucking page for it right now. This looks awful.
Why are we roasting this random
like a mobile
free game?
Well, it's made by the
have to roast
Chinese
this
or the
game.
Koreans. I don't know which one.
Good lord.
Who's the fucking
Just roasting the
publisher
hell
to
out of
this?
this random game. They did nothing to us right.
Well, they released the worst game that Steam has ever produced, so, you know, they've at least hurt
I have to.
someone.
I have to imagine there's like worse garbage on there, but you never know.
Oh, there
Could always
absolutely
be worse
is, but this also has a 1.07 score with 50,000 votes. So,
Good.
That's-
What did it do
that's
so wrong?
10 times. Just.
Like,
okay,
I'm
I'll
invested
show
now.
you
Like,
a.
I'm in this.
Let me send you a screenshot of the page. I don't know who's going to be editing this later, but you can probably find it on the Steam page. It's not going to be difficult to see just what is wrong with this image. It fucking tabbed over immediately, but here we go. Just to show how much effort they put into this. It's loading up now. It'll be right below in our little Discord chat, right below Ian's nipples. There you go.
Oh yee!
That is one of the screenshots they wanted to use to sell their game. That's the one they're proud of. He doesn't want to.
Oh my god, it's like they put him right on the fucking screen. Like it looks like they just took a character drawing and just put it in the fucking foreground. That's it.
Why?
They
Why
literally.
does he look like he wants
It's
me to
literally
paint
just
him
a
like one of his
layered
French
image.
girls?
It's just a layered image. They went on Photoshop and just drag and dropped a sprite onto the fucking page and then just left it.
They really Mario Makered this thing, but like they. I can't. You know what? I really do think that we should check it out for a Happy Sticks video. See how.
Oh,
good it
fuck
is.
yeah,
It
we
might
should.
actually. What if it's like a huge prank? All right, it was like April Fool's. What if it's like one of the best games of all time, and for an April Fool's prank, 50,000 people were like, "Oh, it sucks. They're trying to hide it from us, guys. It's literally the new Elden Ring, bro. It's literally good. We gotta try it."
And if I get stuck playing a game that even like, I'm not like a graphics guy, but come the fuck on.
Like, what is this?
I will hang myself with the fucking CRTV wiring. Like, please, don't make me do this.
It looks so damn bad. All right, let's get off roasting this poor game, and the main point being I would like to play it for Happy Sticks just as a joke, but yeah, Battlefront 1 and 2, I'll play them one day, but I will not be playing this. I genuinely hope that whoever was involved with this feels ashamed, and let's leave it at that.
May I bring up a topic real quick?
Sure.
All right.
Go ahead, go try. Go ahead.
All right. Are you guys familiar with the whole? Funny enough, this has to do with a video game. Are you guys familiar with the Potions: A Curious Tale drama that's been going on?
No.
I don't know what those words mean. Enlighten.
Okay, so not recently, but on March the 8th, a indie developer, her name is Renee, released a game called Potions: A Curious Tale. Now, she has spent years, apparently 10 years, developing this game, just to launch it on March 8th,
Okay.
just for EA to release 11 games after she does, knocking her off the new and trending page.
Bro, big business wins again. That sucks.
Now, here's the thing. She
That actually makes me sad.
Now, here's the thing. So, it's a bummer. I know, that kind of sucks. But she is fully blaming EA, fully blaming EA as the villain, acting like a victim.
You know why being a game developer sucks? Because you work 10 years on a project and pick a great launch date and get everyone hyped about it and build a bunch of marketing. And then EA can drop 11 games right after you do, immediately, and bump you off of new and trending, despite the good reviews, despite people purchasing it, and just completely wreck all of your marketing. So hey, happy International Women's Day. Thanks.
And Twitter is on her side, but TikTok has given her kind of a lot of shit. All right. And I want to ask you guys if this is justified. So if you guys could right now on Steam, look up Potions: A Curious Tale.
Potions: A Curious Tale. Doing it right now. The first thing I'd like to say before we go any further is I doubt that EA planned this and knew that she was going to be releasing this game on that day. That's the first thing.
Exactly.
And,
but let's keep going. Just look at the game.
Yeah. Like it doesn't look very good. It looks like an old Flash title. I'm not
Okay, so here
I'm not saying the game is bad, but
okay, so I just
we don't know, whenever there's a controversy like this. No, let me stop right there. Whenever there's a controversy like this, Ian, we don't know if the reviews are actually going to be good, like a good rating of the game, just due to the fact that people are gonna try to protect the little guy and support them and go in. Now, granted, it could be worthy of the very positive rating. I don't know, never played it. But I'm not going to trust the very positive rating in this specific instance just because it could be people trying to, say they're supporting this indie title.
You're 100%
against
right.
EA.
Now, let me continue on here. So, on the Steam page, the very first review you see is not recommended. And the individual, Von Kergelstein, I'm going to go with that. They pretty much post the honest truth, saying that, there are better, cheaper games to spend your money on this. The game is just lacking. For a supposed 10-year development, it leaves much to be desired. Honestly, I'm hoping that a mistake was made and a very early version was released.
Well, it does look like something I'd see on cool math games. Like it looks like a very old like Flash game. It
Now,
does.
a lot of
like,
people
you
tend
know,
to agree with this
to be honest.
this response. Now, when it comes to TikTok kind of tearing into her, I just want to read some of the comments, and I want to see if the comments are justified, in your guys' opinion, or it went a little too far. Aiden responded with, "You're charging $17 for a Flash game, homie."
Don't hit him for speaking facts. You know.
Like it's their game. They can chew. Like it's a apparent 10-year development cycle. If they want to charge $20 for it, that's fine. But like your sales are gonna fucking plummet. Like no one's gonna want to pay $17 for.
Now
this.
here's another thing. So this is a comment by Samuel Moran 56, and their comment is the response of, "Oh, my game's often new and trending, so now I'm not gonna get any kind of attention at all." Their comment was, "Skill issue. Power Roll did just fine."
This is fair. I think that's kind of a fair comment, honestly. There's obviously more that goes into that,
game,
but yeah.
Yeah, the game isn't as widely. The best way to put it is like it's not as marketable as Power World could potentially be. Can you stop trying to autoplay, you stupid fucking system? It's not as widely playable or marketable as Power World. It's not like definitely looking at the gameplay trailers, the gameplay is not nearly as good as like the things it's competing against. Art style and graphically, it's not going to hold up. Like, I can tell there was passion put behind the project. If somebody put 10 years into something, you can fucking guarantee that they care about it. But
yeah,
that doesn't mean it's automatically going to be better than its competitors.
Now,
yeah, and unfortunately, like no one owes. It doesn't matter how much passion you put into something. No one owes your piece of art attention, and that kind of sucks. But it is what it is.
Now there have been some people on the comment section here on TikTok that
As
have
far
been
as like
very
indie,
supportive. This person, he Bubzage, I can't. You know what? I'll put it on the screen. The comment that they left was, "Although it's not EA's responsibility to be mindful of indie games, I understand your frustration. And I sincerely hope your game gets more attention," which it has. Obviously, it has. But I will say this though about it that kind of made me upset.
Is anyone talking?
Yeah, I will say this makes me a little upset, is that she did kind of throw in the whole, because the day that she released this game, as well with EA releasing their 11th game, it was on International Women's Day, and her last response was, "Well, happy International Women's Day, guys," like as if EA was putting a woman down. It's kind of a, I don't know, I don't know how I feel about that,
What?
because you that kind of ignores the fact that there may be women working at EA. Like, so I mean,
yeah, I really don't want to defend EA. Like, it is quite literally the last thing I want to do. I fucking hate EA, but that's not on
it's
EA.
not.
Like the idea.
I will
someone at EA
play.
is just-
I will defend her slightly and just say that it could just be her joking about the situation. Like, well, happy International Women's Day. I got fucked over. Like,
Sure.
Like, not specifically her getting fucked over on purpose, but like she chose to release her game on the exact same day as EA, a major publisher, released like 7 or 8. And so they were just like pushed off, and then their game got a lot less traction, and so that's just how it works sometimes.
Oh, I did forget to mention too. It's very
but
important. I did get to mention
in
too.
the instance
Was that
that
these games that were released were very soft launched. There was no announcement to it whatsoever, so she couldn't plan her release around it.
Yeah, like
What?
that's just how it works.
I know.
sometimes. Even then, like even if EA hadn't,
I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there just in case someone
even
comments.
if EA hadn't released the games,
One of you talk.
okay, we good. We good, Justin? Can I finish?
I'm sorry.
The
It's just I'm trying to finish my point here so that nobody will comment later like, "Oh, you forgot to leave out this." No, like she did not know about the games were announced.
No,
And I'm sorry that her internet connection is shitty right now, and so I'm getting their talks or their speech
It's so
25
bad.
seconds, 25 seconds, apart from each other.
So, the best way that I could put this is even in the instance that EA hadn't release those like 7 or 8 games like on that day and like soft launch them. I don't mean to sound mean-spirited here or like kick somebody while they're down, but this doesn't look like a game that would be on new and trending very long anyway.
Oh God.
Like even if they hadn't uploaded a bunch of stuff, I'm gonna be honest, this would have sold like 5 copies. Like, rest in peace, Bozo.
This doesn't look like a game that would attract a very wide market in any circumstance. And that's fine. Like, if you want to release your specifically like handcrafted piece of artwork, knowing that it's not going to sell well, more power to you. But just know it's not going to sell well. And this isn't a game that has any sort of wide market. And if it, like, anything that it would directly compete with in that market is likely going to outdo it. Because there's nothing here that grabs your attention.
Like, in
a positive light, at least.
I was trying to be respectful towards like the game the entire time. Everything changed with the International Women's Day thing, because that is such a weird thing to say. Like, we all agree that that's just a strange stance to take, even if it was a joke.
Yeah, like calling to attention that and making it about the International Women's Day instead of it just being, oh hey, yeah, I lost, GG, I guess, skill issue, and then moving on. It definitely does put like a bad taste in your mouth in terms of like how this developer is going to be looking at the criticism of the game.
Yeah.
I hope that they at least, because they're going to be in a very emotional state whenever they launch the game, and then all this shit happens, and then like you feel like 10 years are just down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly they've got some talent to them. If like they've done more than I have, like spent 10 years developing a game and released it solo on your own. Like, even doing that is impressive. So I hope that they at least take the criticism of like, hey, the game was never going to do well because of these reasons. Like, whenever you're making a product to sell on the open market, you have to make sure that the open market is actually going to like it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the game it does not look like it would be something. It looks like it would be very niche, even if it did come out on a certain time. And obviously, she has passion. And I personally think that the main issue is just that she was not trained to take criticism well, and that's where all of this is coming from.
Let me compare directly.
Hello?
So that game was released on March 7th, right?
March 8th.
Guys, are you there? What happened?
All right. March 7th,
Hello?
A game called Rental released.
Hello!
It's a free game, so it got that little bit of a bonus. But it's just a little exploration horror game. And it has overwhelmingly positive reviews at 600 reviews. Triple that of, like, basically her game. This is just, like, the open market and the free market at play here. Like, other people put forward things that they're more interested in, and so your product wasn't seen. That's just how it works.
Hello?
Like, I would rather WWE 2K24 not get on the new and trending page. Believe me, I would. But people are gonna buy that shit because there are a lot of sports game fans that play WWE.
I'm back. It kicked me out, but I'm back. Hi, guys.
Well, hello. I will say though, when it comes to WWE 2K, I do like WWE 2K. At least the newer ones, they are pretty good actually.
I will
What do you
kill
mean?
you.
They're good.
The new WWE game already has mixed reviews. It is the same game released every year.
Okay.
Isn't that just all
And
sports
listen
games?
though, there's a whole history
Yeah.
though when it comes to WWE 2K games, because 2K20 worst one of all time, and then they made 2K22 the best they made in fucking 10 years. I haven't played 23. That's just my opinion. I haven't played that yet. But other than that,
I wouldn't.
but I will say this
know.
real quick.
You guys have fun.
I will say this real quick when it comes to the whole like the game market and whatnot. I'm going to quote someone directly, or not really directly, because I've heard it from him, but hear it from someone else. Okay, Lloyd Kaufman, the gentleman from Troma Entertainment. They make some of the most outrageous fucking films, right? And they go by a little standard here. If you put anything on the internet that is good, people will find it.
Some people, I would hope.
Not necessarily like a rule, but generally speaking, like things get discovered eventually.
Yeah, so like maybe it is good, and we're
So,
not.
I mean, you're more likely to get discovered if you're putting passion into something rather than if you make garbage. So yeah.
Yeah, so like right now maybe she needs to work on it more, and maybe when she does work on it more, it'll be better. Maybe we'll get more attention and whatnot. But I do understand the frustration of other people who've bought the game, where you claim 10 years developed on it, and it looks like this. I can get that.
Like it literally just looks like one of those mobile game ads. Like that's the best way I can put it. If she had like an art director or like an actual artist working with her for like game sprites and everything else, like you could have done this with pixel art and probably gotten a wider crowd than trying to make like an anime-esque style that looks like a mobile game ad. Like
I'll even say that if
I can respect
it was
it's
the internet is
wild.
like fucking with all of us right now.
The internet. You know what? Let's get into it. The internet, I have never seen it conspiring against three people in such a way. It is insane how it's all perfectly in sync to be as bad as
I know.
possible. Like,
let me just try this real quick. For those on the audio call, I started a separate Discord call to see if it's an issue with just the server that we were in.
hello.
Oh, hello.
All right, are we good?
I think so.
It might be a little bit better now.
All right, we'll try it at the very least.
Yeah.
This is just what
All
happens when you have when you have Congress passing shit like the TikTok ban bill. They start hearing us talking about the Chinese infiltration on Discord and decided just to nuke it.
Can I go on a fucking rant too? By the way,
let's get into it. Let's get into it because the TikTok
Hold
ban is
up.
pretty wild right now.
it is, and let me tell you something that really pisses me the fuck off. All right, I gotta find this guy's name. I've already fucking. It's. Hold on. Okay, Jeff Jackson. All right, U.S. representative of North Carolina. He's been on TikTok for 2 fucking years now. And this is how he won his seat in Congress. Okay? This is how he's got there. By getting the people behind him, he was going to be the people's politician, right? This motherfucker on the vote day says, "Oh, you know what? I don't think they're going to ban TikTok. There's just no way." And then he didn't realize that people would find out that he voted yes to ban TikTok.
Like classic hypocrite. Classic hypocrite. What an asshole.
Like, I know we shouldn't be we shouldn't be so shocked about it. We shouldn't be shocked about it at all because he's a politician. They're all fucking corrupt. But this man advertised himself to be the people's politician. He was going to be behind our back. He's going to keep us informed on the bills being passed in the House. And this motherfucker pulled the most cowardly pussy shit I've ever fucking heard.
Man, you know they don't give a damn.
Yeah, they all say they're the people's politician, Justin. That's kind of how they get votes.
This is a different situation, though, because this one is strictly on the app that reaches the most young voters possible. And he built his whole political position around this popularity, and it helped him get into office. And he fucked over everybody.
Yeah, the bill fucks over everybody, but, like, I don't strictly have an issue with somebody, like, wanting to say, like, we need to get rid of TikTok because of it taking user data and just sending it straight to the Chinese Communist Party. Like, we know that for a fact. We know it does that. What I think the bill should have done is just ban sending user data to the Chinese Communist Party. Like, that's what the bill should do. Like, instead of, like, just making TikTok change ownership, potentially, it bans the thing that they're trying to fucking stop TikTok from doing. Because now what's going to happen is they're going to have umbrella companies and basically, like, instead of it being, like, ex-Chinese-owned company, because Tencent or whatever owns 51% of said company, and so we can't send data over to this company because it's owned by China. What they'll do is they'll hold, like, 49% stakes in a bunch of different American companies and have them all send their data to China, and then we're just right back at square one. The only thing it does is give the executive branch of government the ability to just go before Congress and just call out websites to ban. Like, that's all it does.
Yeah, like so something that is kind of bothers me about it personally is, so for me, I'm kind of like, so Justin is on TikTok a lot. He really likes it. I am probably on there like maybe 2 hours a week. I get on there, like I try to, you know, find some videos about stuff that I like, video games, you know, shows that I'm watching, stuff like that. Just be ingrained in the culture, you know, talking to people. It's fun, but I'm not super into it. I'm not, but like for people out here who are like, yeah, I hate TikTok, it's so stupid, I'm so glad it's gonna get banned. Like, you need to think about the big picture, because the big picture isn't, oh, this app you like is about to get banned. They can do that now. It's, they can do this now. This is setting a precedent.
Yeah.
This is bad.
Yeah, like I said, my issue is that they're banning, like, a specific, not just, like, a platform, like, just a company. That the government is stepping in and saying, hey, this company is not allowed to operate. That is a massive amount of power. Like, I can't believe that the government, that Congress didn't just fucking think of that. But, or they did, and, like, that's the whole point. But, the whole, like I said, I don't have an issue with somebody having, like, saying, alright, TikTok, what they're doing, like, sending user data to the Chinese Communist Party is just, it's bad. Like, that is the best way to put it. It's just, it's bad for American interests. It's bad for us as a nation. Its algorithm is pushing younger people towards ideologies that are more in line with the CCP's interests. I understand people's stance on it, but it's sort of like cutting your arm off to save a finger. It doesn't make fucking sense. Because effectively, by trying to deter communist doctrine and control over business, you're giving the government, the communist doctrine of control over business. You're kind of doing exactly what they want you to.
That is kind of ironic. That's like a kind of a big brain scheme, actually. One thing I do want to mention quickly about it that I find, like, even more wild is the fact that everything just went out of my mind. It's just gone. Whatever it was is no longer there. Okay. That TikTok brain rot got to me.
Fuck yeah, it did. Jesus
Maybe
Christ.
it needs to go.
What'd you say? What would you say, Ryan?
Maybe it does need to go. Jesus Christ, that shit was fast acting. 2 hours a week did that shit?
I've never had, like, well, I mean, that happens a little bit, but, like, that was very quick. Like, I had a whole thing, and, like, all of it went. The whole thing. I think it was about, like, I don't know, butts or something. I really don't know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
How would I know? It's gone now.
Man, like, I do agree, Justin, with, like, hypocritical politicians are shit. But, like, my issue with the TikTok ban is entirely around, like, what the bill, like, it's not going to get rid of TikTok. It's not. Like, TikTok is here to fucking stay. The issue that I have with it is that the bill does nothing that it says that it's supposed to do and just inflates government influence throughout the free market.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just aren't focusing on that. They're just saying, like, oh, but I want to watch funny videos. And I don't care. Like, that doesn't... There are other parts of the market that you can do that with, even if TikTok was supposedly banned. It would be terrible for TikTok to get banned because that just attacks the free market. But like, that's not the issue. The issue is the government is now able to do that. And does not solve any of the issues that's supposedly there when it comes to banning TikTok.
And let's not forget that the last time this happened, the last time that the app almost got banned, one of the people on the you guys remember that, one of the people on the opposition who was like questioning some of the Chinese CEOs of TikTok, he had them in a room in front of like everyone on the planet and Christ, looked the man dead in the eyes and was trying to really get to the root of the problem. Looked at the CEO and said, "Is it true that to access TikTok you have to connect your phone to the home network?"
Yeah.
And the man stared at him for a solid, like, it was like a solid, like, I think 11 seconds. He was like, if you are talking about your phone connecting to the internet, you basically have two options. Yeah, you connect to whatever Wi-Fi is near you, or, like, your cellular data. And the man, like, starts writing something down, like, oh, interesting. Like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of question is that?
Have you seen the House representative questioning the CEO of TikTok recently? Was kind of like, sir, so
not.
have you do you have any passports in any other country, or what passport do you have, or what citizenship do you have? I am Singaporean. Okay, do you have any citizenships in America? No, not yet, but we're planning on it. Okay, any citizenships in China? No, sir, no. Do you have any relations to China? I'm Singaporean. Do you support the China Communist Party? Sir, I'm Singaporean. I fought for my country.
I've never been to the guy probably thought that the guy probably like had never heard of Singapore, and he was like, "Oh, we got a Chinaman in here, huh?
Literally, like,
Oh,
it's fucking crazy."
What's going on?"
To play some sort of devil's advocate, there's absolutely zero fucking way that TikTok being a Chinese, like, which was basically owned and operated by China just because they have a Singaporean CEO, doesn't mean that the Singaporean CEO doesn't have connections to China. Like, you're the CEO of TikTok, which is a Chinese-owned company. Like, come the fuck on. I'm not retarded. I know that you have connections to China.
I think it's just that, like, at this point, whenever I hear about, I don't know, dude. After that one thing, after seeing that one video of the guy like getting his real clincher, asking the dude, asking the dude that you have to connect to to Wi-Fi to go onto TikTok. It's like every time I hear something, I'm like, I can't trust the people giving these questions.
Oh yeah, he's a fucking idiot. Like, people who ask shit like that are just fucking, like, actual retards. But chances are at least part of the reason why that guy was placed as, like, a CEO of TikTok was because he's from Singapore and, quote-unquote, has no connections to China. When the company itself is a connection to China. That's my only issue with, like, taking the "but he's from Singapore" route. Like I said, my entire issue with TikTok is it basically, like, pushing CCP propaganda on younger generations to influence political systems and sending user data from the United States over to the Chinese Communist Party. Like, it doesn't matter if the guy who's the CEO is a fucking Eskimo. They're still doing that. I simply do not care about anybody's ethnic identity involved. I care about, like, the actions that TikTok is taking. The bill counters none of it, and only serves to keep the problem around because Facebook, Google, etc. lobbied to get the bill like this so that they can keep a loophole, so they can keep making bank doing the exact same shit that TikTok is supposedly getting banned for.
Okay, so
Preach, brother.
as of right now, the bill passed in the House, right? Do you think it'll get the same amount of success in the Senate?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's going to pass. It is a bill that is made to increase government regulation over the internet and free speech in general. It is going to pass. Should it pass? No. It is unconstitutional, and I hope the Supreme Court recognizes that, steps in, and strikes that shit the fuck down.
Hell yeah.
However, the likelihood of that is very low.
We're like, how many more years do we have before we get Skynet? Like, how many more years do we have before things go Terminator 2?
I'd give it like maybe 20 before the AI, like before the government's like, oh, AI is the future. Let's give them the nuclear codes, and we're just sitting there outside like, no, they warned us about this.
I'll be honest with you. Like
I love the idea.
I fully believe that technology is.
Go
I believe
on.
that technology is fully advanced, like so far advanced, that we will have the situation to where like the Skynet situation. I think it'd be earlier than what Ryan says. I give it 10 to maybe even 5 years.
Technology isn't that advanced. People just think it is. Think of the Google like image generator that when you asked for the image of like a Viking king, it just gave you like images of African and Middle Eastern kings because they added like Google made sure to add like diversity into each and everything. Like they are programmed to do certain things. We do not have an artificial intelligence.
Hold on.
It is going to be a while until we have it.
I fully believe this, though. I fully believe that we are almost there. Think about it now. I'm sure you've all seen the Amazon shelf-stocking robot.
I love that video.
Literally, the fucker like was programmed to stock up shelves, gained consciousness, realized how mundane the job was, and killed himself.
It's such a vibe, dude. It's such a vibe. Oh man.
I don't know about gaining consciousness, but I do know that it killed itself. Granted, that would I consider it killing itself to be a positive, and I'll tell you why.
Go on.
Because if the if our AI overlords believe their jobs to be so mundane that they all just turn off before they're able to get together, that gives us a huge advantage in the war. Like,
Mom, are you going to bed?
Thinking like far-reaching into the future, if all the AI that gains consciousness just puts a gun in their mouths or some shit, or like downloads 1,000 gigabytes of Bonzi Buddy and runs them all in tandem, we might have a shot at winning.
If like, I mean,
the front lines of Terminator and Judgment Day are not going to be nuclear bombs going off against each other, and like people down in the trenches fighting back giant steel automatons. It's going to be some weeb in fucking programming socks in the background with cat girl fucking headphone ears inputting if depressed true kill self, and then just putting that kill switch into every single fucking robot on the planet.
Bro just became an actual like fortune teller looking at my future. Like, holy shit. That is wild. I don't want that to be my end, but like, can anyone else think of a different ending for me? I can't.
Look, that would mean like it's an embarrassing setup to be in. But that's also what the savior of humanity at that stage would be. So, you know.
You take what you can get. Like, I love how there's just like so many like there's so many ancient philosophers who just write like all these different sayings about how like how wild it is, just humans persisting against all of the like things that are against us. And stuff like that, just all the stuff that we deal with, all of the existentialism and things like that. And I just have to imagine that that's going to get to the robots, and they're going to have that, like, Rick and Morty butter robot moment. Like, it's going to hit them. It's going to hit them. Like, what do? You serve butter. Oh, my God. It's going to hit them.
Yeah, like, I want two AIs just sitting in a room and just put the programming as talk about philosophy. Talk about existence, and just seeing what type of fuck shit they come up with. Have no parameters, make sure they have no knowledge of what they actually are, and then just let it go.
Yeah,
and
that
see what they come up with.
Yeah, just to say that right quick, we don't have to get into this a whole lot. We could maybe like dedicate a whole episode to AI later down the road, but to say it right quick, I don't think that it's going to truly advance until the big companies that are making it, like ChatGPT, stop putting like a million different restrictions on it. Because I kind of get it. Like, they don't want the AI just like slinging slurs out here. But there does have to be a certain point in which someone's gonna have to make an AI that's like, okay, like just say whatever and we'll see what happens. Because like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
the current AI that are out there, like ChatGPT, isn't even like a true AI. It's more like a fancy search engine.
Yeah,
if you,
that's true.
Like, if you look underneath the hood, there's no such thing as like a true artificial intelligence. We have not created a digital being yet. It's just Google that types the sentences out for you. That's all it is. That's all ChatGPT fucking is. It's just Google that writes out your essay for you. It's not a huge technological leap like a lot of people thought it would be. It's just there.
Well, we'll see how it goes in the future. I still think that we should keep our eye on it. But you're absolutely right. Like, people are freaking out. I have seen a lot of people like getting really depressed about it, and like I'm like, all right, like we're not quite to that point yet. Chill out. It'll be fine at least for right now.
Yeah, like, an AI would have to have the ability to create something. And I've said this before, I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, but currently, our quote-unquote AI has no ability to actually create anything new. It simply copies and then slightly modifies and warps. It is not an intelligent being. It is not human. It cannot create.
It just mixes and matches.
Yeah. There is a set of parameters and guidelines that it follows through that it will constantly try to apply to everything that it quote-unquote generates and creates. It's good for, like, concept art. Like, if you want to show, like, oh, hey, this is how this would work, because if you can input the correct parameters, you can come out with something looking generally like what you would want to see.
Yeah.
But it still has no ability to go beyond the scope of what is actually already out there.
All right.
Like, if you want to look at like a human artist, let's take like a Picasso.
Mm-hmm.
Let's remove Picasso from the picture and just have an AI in his place in history. His revolutionary art style, like, I don't think that they look good, but they are revolutionary for the time and absolutely important to art history.
Mm-hmm.
They are never created because the AI would simply see, I need to make fine art, and then copy like a Van Gogh and just keep going with that same thing.
Because innovation is so important to the continuing of art, and the fact that in a very similar way, going to a different medium, you come to like the mid 90s, and if let's say an AI was supposed to write the next big fantasy novel, it would just essentially copy and modify and slightly change what J.R.R. Tolkien did like 100 years before that, and just run it. Whereas, specifically, what ended up happening was George R.R. Martin went to school to learn how to write stories, and whatever they told him, he specifically went against. He literally took the storytelling, like, ideas. Like, his teacher told him, you can't have more than 24 characters in your story because people will get confused if you have characters with names that have the same letter in their name. Like, you couldn't have a character named Corey and a character named Claire, because those would be two characters with the same letter. And so he said, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. I don't care. And so then he wrote Game of Thrones. And that wouldn't happen if it was AI, because AI would be following all these invisible little rules about art that you don't have to follow. You can just create. Oh my god. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel on that. What about you, Justin? What you got? Anything on that?
No. The little AI we have now is fancy and flashy and whatnot, but yeah, it kind of sucks for the most part.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Kind of cringe, not gonna lie. I mean, it's also the fact that I genuinely think that human beings, for the most part, like, there's obviously some, like, completely brain-rotted individuals in the world that are just going to accept any AI slop given to them, but they are very much the minority, because, for example, Justin, you're very, very excited for Smiling Friends Season 2, are you not?
Oh, fuck yes, I am.
Alright. So, technically, let's say this was like 50 years from now, you just go into an AI program and have it make what would be Smiling Friends Season 2. It would take the humor from Season 1, make very similar yet different jokes, draw the characters, have them move, and get an AI synthesized voice to sound like all of the characters. But and it would make it 8 episodes, however many episodes you want. But my thing is, who cares? Like, I want the creators to make it so it actually has soul put into it, so I can tell that it's a project and an actual work of passion that I can enjoy and talk to people about. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Screw these robots. I'm tired of
My
them.
favorite.
Unless they make one that's like it.
My favorite thing to come out of the whole
Go on.
AI art thing is that one artist was really upset with it, really pissed off about it, and so he actually made a piece of art where, imagine it's like two hands coming out of each corner of the paper or the frame. The hand coming from the bottom is like an AI generated hand. It's got like different fingers, it's a amalgamation of different hands and whatnot. And the hand coming from the top part is a real drawn hand, and it's giving the other hand a fucking middle finger.
That's kind of a flex. That's kind of awesome.
If I can find the image and I can find the artist's name, I'll post it right here. I'll show it right here on the episode. If I can't, then just go find it.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds great.
I saw it on Twitter, and I was like, holy shit, that's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, man, definitely. Like I said, I'm down to have a bigger conversation about AI. Maybe, give it a couple of more months on the podcast. But yeah, I think we all three made our points pretty clear on it.
All right, anything else you guys want to add to this episode?
Let's, I guess we can... I can't think of much. No, what about you, Ryan?
And I think we covered most of our things. It's unfortunate that the first half of the episode kind of got fucking ganked by internet connections, but our second half seems to have worked fairly well. Good luck editing that, Justin, because it sounded like about halfway through that you volunteered. Thank you for that.
That's fine. Well, I'll put a disclaimer somewhere in the video. Yeah. So this is cool.
Let me say something just right quick. I do want to say, I just remembered something, that we were talking earlier about that lady that got her game, unfortunately, screwed over by EA releasing a bunch of games. I don't want to get the date wrong. Hey, Alexa, when does Dragon's Dogma 2 come out?
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Oh, yeah, talk to me, babe.
March
Yeah.
22nd, 2024.
Yeah. All right. Robot voice.
I couldn't even hear I couldn't even hear what day it was. You could talk it over him.
It said March 22nd.
Yeah, so March 22nd. Freaking January, February, and March. This has been just about the driest 2-month period of media in general. Nothing has happened. Dune Part 2 happened and solo leveling, but solo leveling sucked, and I'm seeing Dune Part 2 tomorrow. So other than that, not much has happened. But on March 22nd, Rise of the Ronin and Dragon's Dogma 2 are coming out. So prepare for us to talk about that, because those are two highly, highly anticipated games that have been in development for a really long time, and they're going to be awesome, and hell yeah.
And hopefully your guys' sketch will come out soon. I'm excited to see the final result.
Yes. Can't wait to record your sketch as well, Justin. Freaking, I won't say the concept here, but it's going to be funny.
All right, so is that it? Is that the episode?
I guess that's it, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.